guys, we're back for another Dokkan battle video, and we actually got a data download that I was not expecting for once. I knew that the explosive chain battle drops about 24 hours from when I am going to be releasing this video, but I figured that the data for that was already actually in the game. Like, they would have put that in there along with Battlefield when they did the last data download, but apparently not. And we got two new units here. Now, this is actually, I've been talking about how incredible this Kefla celebration is for a while now in a lot of videos, and it just keeps getting better. Like, it's insane. So now, the STR Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla and the INT Super Saiyan 2 Kale Dokkan Awaken from the Universal Survival Arc story event. Now, for Caulifla, that's not the biggest deal, because of the fact that the AGL Caulifla is going to get an easy A. I mean, she was not added into the data either. The AGL Caulifla and the physical Berserk Kale. So obviously they are coming in part 2, presumably with LRUI Goku, right? It probably will be part of the same data download. But like, because of that AGL Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla easy A, I think this free-to-play STR unit isn't as valuable. And it's not one of those things either, I don't think, where it's like, oh, well, you know, this is a free-to-play unit that we're getting, and, like, you know, you're comparing it to, like, a new banner unit, which most of the player base is not going to get quickly on, right? But, like, I don't know that that's really the case here, because AGL Caulifla, I mean, you know, if you have a newer account, but AGL Caulifla's been out for, you know, over 3 years now, right? Like, she's been out for, well, no, actually, it's about to be 3 years since AGL Caulifla came out. Yeah, I believe she came out in July of 2017. So we're closing in on 3 years since that AGL Caulifla's been out. Oh, 3.62 turn 1. Okay. Sure. Pretty good. Yeah. So, that easy A, like, a lot of people I feel like are going to be able to pretty easily get her, right? Like, that AGL Caulifla, like, either have her, you know, again, unless you're a brand new player or you've re-rolled, which I beg people not to do. I think re-rolling just does not help you in any way. But if you have not done that, then you're probably going to have that AGL Caulifla easy A ready to go. Now, this Kale is different because there isn't another Super Saiyan 2 Kale in here, right? This is it. And this Kale is crazy. So, alright, on Super Attack, she only lowers defense. I mean, she definitely, they could have given her stacking attack or defense or something like that there. Now, her passive skill. She gives Universal Survival Saga category allies 2 key and 30% attack and defense. Instantly, we know what that means. Kefla, who is either number 1 or number 2 as far as best Dokkan Fest TUR. It's between her and Cooler. Kefla wants support. Bad. Because Kefla gets her attack buff on super attack, right? So if you have support type units around, she's going to be crazy. Now, Kale then gets 50% defense if there's a Caulifla on the team. It's just an ally whose name includes Caulifla, right? So LR, Kale, and Caulifla do count here. And then all allies get 1 key and 10% attack and defense when there's an ally whose name includes Caulifla in the same turn. So that's interesting. Both the Caulifla and the Kale are built like this, where they get a buff for Caulifla or Kale being on the team, and then also on rotation. Now, for the Universe 6 team, like, it's not, like, if you're using the Kale and Caulifla units, you're probably going to be using more Kale and Caulifla units, right? So it's not necessarily the worst thing that this Kale gets stronger with Caulifla, because, again, LR, Kale, and Caulifla is still the best unit on the, well, no, LRUI Goku's best unit on Universal Survival Saga. Okay, well, Kale's only at 67k defense. That's not terrific. It's actually pretty bad. Yeah, 67k is pretty bad. So that's her giving 40% defense to herself from her support type passive, and then she has the 50% defensive buff from Caulifla being on the team. So that's not really too great. Her attack stat is pretty low as well, but she doesn't get any attack herself. It's just a support type buff. But then, yeah, then there's Kale and Caulifla at 4.48, and then, you know, if we see what Kefla is going to do at the end, it's going to be like 3 million. Kefla is going to be at like a 3 million attack stat. So, like, this Kale is going to be a very good support type option for this team. you're probably going to want to go... I mean, I imagine you're going to want to go Vados instead of this Kale, because Vados has the 50% chance to dodge. Vados is also an orb changer, and she is a support type unit as well. Now, she's only giving 20% to Kefla, but the 20% plus creating orbs, I feel like is definitely going to be more valuable than just this Kale giving the 40%. Well, it could only be 30% depending upon if there's a Caulifla around, you know, depending upon the situation. I guess Kale is going to be giving 3 ki, though. That is very powerful. It's not that common, really, for units to give 3 ki, so that is pretty good. Okay, so we have this turn with Kefla. Kefla is going to hit stupidly hard right here, like usual. Obviously, it would be better if we had Champa in that 3rd spot for maximum shenanigans with Kefla, but, you know, she's going to look good. Now, here's the thing. This celebration is so ridiculous. Like, I almost want to... Okay, what's our attack stat? 4.74, okay. That's pretty good. Now, I want to take a look at the this celebration real quick, because it's just insane. Like, how many buffs they've given the Universe 6 team during this celebration, right? Now, if every time they released one of these small, shitty categories, they did this, it wouldn't be an issue. But the problem is they don't always do what they just did, right? So, like, we got Kefla, who is the 2nd best unit, I think, on the category, Universe 6, behind STR Kale and Caulifla, who are definitely still number 1. Then we got Vados, who is a nice upgrade, and then the Awakenings for the SSR Caulifla and Kale, which are really good. Then Easy A's for Caulifla and Kale. Then we also got the these Awakenings for Caulifla and Kale. Like, it's so crazy. Like, they gave us so many Universe 6 units. Like, it's very nice, but, like, you know, again, we need this for other teams as well. Because, like, Rapid Growth, this is great for Rapid Growth. Like, we get all of these units who are on Rapid Growth, right? Like, both of the new Kale and Caulifla are on Rapid Growth. The Super Saiyan 2 Kale is right here. The only thing that is a bit disappointing is that Berserk Kale is not on Rapid Growth. And again, she is going to be getting that Easy A, right? I do think that is rather stupid, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is, right? What are we going to do about it? 5 million by Kale and Caulifla right there. Like, don't sleep on this unit. I mean, I know I spent a year sucking them off, but, like, they haven't aged that. Like, they're still as insane. Like, look at this. The damage they just did. Like, I've been going crazy over Kefla for a while, and then, like, Kale and Caulifla can just very casually shit on Kefla. Like, it's not difficult. Like, Kefla is amazing. One of the best units in the game, but Kale and Caulifla is just flat out on a different tier from Kefla. Still. Like, I know that seems nuts, but it is true. You know, Kale and Caulifla are still, you know, ludicrous. This is a rare turn we can do. You can't do this very often, but we can put Super Saiyan 2 Kefla with Super Saiyan Kefla. Now, they completely share the same link set, by the way. Although, I imagine, in terms of damage, I think it would be better for Kefla, like, with Champa, like, rather than having all her links active. Because the thing about Kefla, she's not, like, so cooler, right? I've gone over it a lot in recent days. Cooler just has a million amazing attack links, which is one of the reasons he's so good, right? Kefla doesn't have the same thing going on. Kefla does not have 80% attack from links, right? So where, like, you know, if you get, like, a perfect linking partner with Cooler, his attack will, like, just implode and skyrocket. For example, a perfect linking partner being himself, his base form version, non-transformed. Alright, so 3.75 right there. Super effective against all types, so it's effectively over 5 million right here. Plus, she gets a guaranteed second super attack. So, you know, she's pretty crazy. And then the Super Saiyan version is rainbowed as well in that slot number 2. So, just the 2 Keflas, I think, should be able to finish off God Goku. We'll see. And don't forget that they both also have the 50% chance to dodge. Kefla didn't get it right there. 120k. I mean, that's not that bad against God Goku. And then you're at 4.15. Man, oh man, is Kefla a fun unit. She really is. I found that it's not difficult to maintain her getting orbs, too. Because, like, I feel like a lot of people haven't understood me when I've said, like, you know... So, like, if we compare Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Goku to Kefla, I feel like the orb changers that Kefla has, Kabe and Vados, you want to run them on the team anyway. Now, I guess you could easily say that, like, not a lot of free-to-play players are going to have Vados and Kefla. Or, excuse me, Vados and Kabe. Which is true, but that doesn't affect Kefla versus Cooler, or Kefla versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majin Vegeta in any way. I mean, it certainly affects how good she could be for a free-to-play player, but if we're talking Cooler versus Kefla, that's not really a factor. Vados is a unit you want to run, because she's amazing defensively, she's creating orbs, and she's a support-type unit, and she could seal, she could lower attack. The only issue with Vados is Ki is going to be an issue on the Universe 6 team that you do want to run, right? Because if you're going to run a Universe 6 team, I mean, Champa, I probably would only actually use for showcases, right? So, like, I would replace Champa with, I don't know, maybe, like, Tech Caulifla, or there's, I don't know, TWAR Kale and Caulifla, you know, maybe one of the EZA Kale and Caulifla, something, right? But Kabe, if you have him, you run him on the team. Period. 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 Kabe is great offensively, defensively, and he's amazing support, and he creates orbs. You run Kabe. That's the thing. Like, you know, even when people compare Cooler and Kefla, they say, well, it's not fair to Cooler because Cooler didn't have a 50% support. Well, it kind of doesn't matter because Hit does not work with Cooler the same way Kabe does. That's the point. They specifically designed Kefla and Kabe to be, like, maximum power next to each other, right? Like, they work great. Whereas Hit, the only team I believe Hit is even on Cooler with is Target Goku, I believe. And even then, yeah, it is. They don't share links at all. They've got nothing because STR Cooler doesn't have shocking speed. Whereas, you know, Kabe is giving Kefla Super Saiyan. Is it just Super? Actually, is it just Super Saiyan? Let me double check what Kabe's links are. Because, I mean, I guess that's not that crazy, right? It's just only 10%. It's not like, so, like, Hit giving 0% to Cooler, and then Kabe's giving the 10% to Kefla. It's not like that's a landslide victory. Yeah, it is. It's just a 10% from Super Saiyan. Then he's giving her 2 Ki from Warriors of Universe 6. Those are the 2 links he has. But don't forget that Kabe has, like, Saiyan Pride with, like, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and stuff like that. But, like, Kabe is just so good alongside Kefla that you want to run him, right? No matter what. So, that's, like, kind of an important thing to remember. I'm going to do another video on Rainbow Cooler. I'm going to max Cooler out, right? Because, I'm completely build the team around Cooler and check to see if I do think he is better than Kefla. Again, I actually don't know that I really care, right? Like, Kefla and Cooler are both so good, and they work so good together, too, which is one of the big things. So, either way, whoever's one, whoever's two, I don't really mind too much, but I do want to get, like, a fair assessment of it. So, I'm going to do another Rainbow Cooler video probably, like, today or tomorrow or something like that. Oh, we're just going to try and max Cooler out, right? We'll get the rotation where Cooler is, you know, linked up with his base form version, because, again, I mean, linked up with his base form version, he's giving him 30% attack from his passive, plus potentially, like, what is it, like 80% attack from links? And then, you know, Final Form Cooler can triple super attack, and they could be guaranteed crits, all 3 of them, right? So, like, that's a very impressive rotation. The only thing is that rotation, as good offensively as it's going to be, is not going to be as good defensively. If you got Big Bad Bosses, Final Form Cooler definitely can sort of, like, hold his own, even against, I think, like, INT UI Goku and STR UI Goku, STR Cooler, with Big Bad Bosses has enough defense, right? But once you start talking about taking super attacks, Cooler gets demolished, whereas Kefla, I believe, at her max will have a bit more defense, I think. And then, maybe, I don't know. I think Cooler with Big Bad Bosses actually probably has a little bit more defense than Kefla. It's close. But then Kefla has the dodge chance, which Cooler does not. So, I don't know. Regardless, this scale is very good. Both of the new free-to-play units are very, very solid. Dokkan doing a good job, like usual, with these free-to-play units. Let me know what you guys think of these units. Very easy to grind up from the Universal Survival Arc story event. Comes out tomorrow with the new mode. Thanks, guys, for watching. and I'll catch y'all next time.